Have you ever been humiliated by someone who should have been on your side? Now, imagine this. You're invited to your ex's wedding, only to have her rub her new perfect life in your face. Sounds like the worst day ever, right? But what if I told you that same ex ended up begging for my forgiveness by the end of the night? Stick around, because what happened next is pure revenge served cold. If you've ever dreamed of getting back at someone who wronged you, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. It's been years since we broke up, but honestly, it still feels like yesterday. My ex and I were together for 5 years, and during that time, I thought we were unstoppable. We had plans, dreams, everything was lined up, but then I found out about him. Yeah, that him, the guy she's now married to. Turns out, she'd been cheating on me with him for months. And to make matters worse, I was the last to know. It wasn't a peaceful breakup. There were no, we should have seen other people talks. No, I caught her red-handed, and she didn't even have the decency to lie. She just shrugged it off like I was an inconvenience. So, I did what anyone would do. I cut her off. No contact, no texting, no calls, nothing. We went our separate ways. And for the next year, I focused on rebuilding myself. But no matter how much time passed, I couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. The way she discarded me like I was nothing. One day, out of the blue, I got an invitation in the mail. An invitation to her wedding. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I mean, why would she want me there? But then, a few of our mutual friends started texting me. They all said the same thing. She wants you there to show you what you missed out on. Now, my first instinct was to throw the invitation away, but something inside me, something deep, told me I had to go, so I did. When I walked into the venue, I felt every eye on me. The awkwardness in the air was palpable. I wasn't angry anymore, but I wasn't exactly thrilled to be there either. The last year had been about healing, not about this woman who had shattered my trust. But still, I had to admit, curiosity got the best of me. The ceremony was a blur, but the reception? Oh! The reception. That's when everything took a turn. She made her speech first. You know, the usual stuff. Thanking everyone for being there, for supporting them, the whole, we're so happy to start this new chapter thing. But then, without missing a beat, she locked eyes with me and said, "I'm so glad I upgraded my life." The room laughed, some nervously, others loudly, and I could feel the tension rise. Was she really doing this? Was she really trying to humiliate me in front of all these people? I stayed calm. A smile crept onto my face, but inside I was boiling. She thought this was her big moment. The moment where she could gloat, where she could show everyone that she won. But I wasn't just going to sit there quietly. Not this time. When it was time for people to give toasts, I stood up. The entire room turned to look at me, expecting something. Most likely. They thought I was about to do something stupid, but instead, I kept it together. I congratulated them both, wished them well. You know, the usual polite stuff. Then, with a pause, I turned to her new husband, the man who had upgraded her life. I said, "I'd also like to thank you for paying off her credit card debt that she racked up in my name before we broke up. Oh, and I can't forget the car she totaled while driving drunk. I'm glad you finally got that fixed." The room went dead silent. It was as though the entire atmosphere in the place froze. Her new husband's face went pale. You could see his jaw tighten. His eyes flickered between confusion and anger. But I wasn't finished yet. "I'm sure it was a big burden for you," I continued. "But don't worry. I'm sure it feels great to be the hero in her life." The tension was suffocating. Every single person in that room was now looking at the two of them, waiting for a response. And I just sat back down, finished my drink, and walked out. Later that night, I found out that her new husband demanded answers. The wedding after-party turned into chaos. She tried to defend herself, but the truth was out there, and no amount of sweet words could fix the mess she had created. The whole evening turned into a fight. Her perfect image, the one she had worked so hard to maintain, shattered in front of everyone. She never expected the truth to come out like that, and neither did he. I heard that the following days weren't any better. Their honeymoon was ruined by arguments, and I didn't feel bad about it. If anything, I felt relieved. There was a weight lifted from my shoulders. The man she married had a front row seat to her lies. He got to see her for who she really was. The payoff was simple, yet so sweet. The fact that she couldn't control the narrative anymore was everything. She had been so sure of herself, so confident that she had won, that she had upgraded, but now everyone knew who she really was. Her new husband would never see her the same way again. When I walked out of that wedding, I didn't feel bitterness or anger. I felt justice. Because, in the end, she wasn't the one who got to have the last word. I did, and that made all the difference. It's crazy how people think they can get away with treating others badly, only to realize the truth always comes out. Karma works in its own time, and sometimes all you need to do is let unfold. But the most satisfying part? Watching the person who tried to hurt you realize that they were the ones who lost in the end. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, subscribe for more stories like this. Who knows? The next one might just be yours.